Hello and welcome to Heather's Do Vegas. I'm Heather Ashley, your host for these very special episodes called Summer Shorts. I'm getting used to this, guys. I like these summer shorts. They're easy breezy and short. Okay, let's get into it. We have some pop culture to talk about, some celeb news. I haven't had a lot of that lately, to be honest, but this week has been pretty juicy. First, I want to talk about the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad that's just giving me all of the Abercrombie PTSD. Love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm into it. Personally, I find it to be a little bit of lazy advertising, but that's just me coming from the marketing communications world. I'd like to see something a little more interesting. I like Sydney Sweeney. I'm kind of into it. And, I'm tired of people being so touchy and over dramatic. We all look good in our own jeans, right? Speaking of what we look good in, what we don't look good in, Skims, new product. It's a face shapewear. Now, I'm just going to say this real quick and we can move on from it. I've tried plenty of product in my day, contraptions, beauty products, etc. Don't bother. You need to go to what's called a board certified plastic surgeon and just get it done right the first time. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Moving on. Another interesting thing out there, and I fell victim to this. There is a recent Guess campaign in magazines. I love Harper's Bazaar. I still get it every month. It is my favorite magazine. I love flipping through it. It is just one of my guilty pleasures in life. And Guess always has a 2 or 3 page spread. And I love it. I always love their voluptuous, big-haired models. And the one recently that I saw was gorgeous. Well, turns out she is an AI model. I had no idea. Not until I saw this on the news and they showed the images of her. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I just saw this spread in Harper's Bazaar. And I was thinking how cute she had a heart necklace with matching heart earrings. And I love hearts. I'm a big sucker for heart jewelry. The AI model. And they're not apologetic. The founder, says they wanted to try it out, and so they did. I don't, where things are going with that. Clearly, it's going toward the AI, right? Another beautiful woman out there who's really going through it, Denise Richards, one of our favorite reality stars. She is going through a really nasty divorce with Aaron. I can't think of his last name, but you know who he is. Lots of accusations of abuse and cheating. She went over to his house, which now I found out turned out it's her home that he's living in with his parents, and I believe the brother's living there as well. So she goes over to the house because now allegedly she was going to pick up one of her dogs, because he allegedly euthanized another one of her dogs. And even though she has a restraining order, she went over there. He left the home and she was dealing with his parents and the brother. Apparently she threw mail in the brother's face. The cops were called and there was a big hubbub on the front lawn. She did end up leaving, but just the situation just gets worse and worse for these two. So we just are continuing to see it play out. She has been seen filming for the new season of Beverly Hills Housewives. So we will see her do a little cameo or two on this upcoming season. Maybe we'll get a little dish on the divorce. Something I would love to hear from you guys about, the new Naked Gun. I don't know, it was a sequel, remake, what have you, starring Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. They are, they're on the media circuit to promote the movie, and they've apparently are in a romance. I don't know if I believe it. They're kind of cute together, a lot of giggling, and I'm not sure. I don't know if this is a cringe or a crazy hot relationship, or if it's just a stunt. We shall see. Another sequel coming up is the iconic cult classic, My Best Friend's Wedding. It will be written and directed by Celine Song, who wrote Materialist, that came out earlier this summer. And all I have to say is we absolutely need another group sing-along, like in the original, when they were all at that Crab Shack rehearsal dinner and they broke it out into Dionne Warwick's classic, I Say a Little Prayer. I could watch that scene over and over and over again. One of my favorite movies of all time. It sounds like all the main OGs are coming back for this. Something to look forward to. Let's get into the reality TV of it. Last episode, guys, remember I was commenting on the McBee dynasty and how Steve Sr., the patriarch, the father, has been MIA. We know he's been shacking up with the two-timing Russian. Well, so we found out this week that he's being investigated by the FBI. And I'm sure, if he's got an attorney, which I'm sure he does, and possibly a PR person, they're like, dude, stay away from the cameras, which is a good move. I would advise that too. The Valley reunion. All right. This was part 2 this week, and I misreported that this was only a 2-part reunion. I don't know where I got that false information. It is a 3-part reunion. Of course, all of our best Bravo shows are 3-part reunions. So, lucky for us, we have a whole nother episode coming next week. And it is being reported more and more that Sheena and Lala will be returning to this upcoming season, which I want to throw this out there that we need to give Michelle the boot. That girl is so boring. I mean, she's like watching paint dry. She's extremely boring. Thank goodness the weirdo boyfriend, they broke up, and we're not going to be seeing any more of him. Not interested. Jax Taylor, I'm not even going to dissect that one anymore. I think we can all agree, babes, he is the most awful human on reality TV. And he just becomes more and more awful with every moment he's on camera. Thankfully, he will be taking a nice long break. I guarantee we will see him at some point once again. But we could all use a break from that, right? And, I saw a TikTok video of them removing the Jax sign from the bar in Studio City. Officially, there's no more Jax's bar. I would be curious. I've not done the research, but if you are so inclined to be a free intern for me, I'd love to know if he is trying to sell his merch online, if he's got a website, is it on eBay? Love to know. I'd love to know what my merch is worth that I have from Jax's bar. Would love to know. All right. The Real Housewives of Orange County, the Katie of it all, the Katie lying circus continues. This is dragging on and on. I don't see an end to this. Just when we think we've come to a conclusion in one episode, it's back in our face, and I'm really done with it. I don't know about you all, but it's getting boring, and it's the only thing really interesting going on in this show, in my opinion. So I'm ready for that to be over. But I do stand firm. I gave you my opinion that I believe she will come out of this season as the top orange. I don't know how it's going to happen, but somehow the person who is in the eye of the storm comes out like a shiny little penny. We'll see if my prediction comes true. And then we have Tammy Sue bringing Joe Slade's ex to Heather Dubrow's very fancy party. Classic Tamra, but of course Gretchen, our gal who is a class act, she goes over and talks to Joe and kind of breaks the ice. And yeah, she's not gonna let Tammy Sue win this one. So you go, Gretchen girl. What else? We just need some more storylines in general. There's just not really anything very, very interesting. I will give some shout out props to Jen with her dinner sit down with Tammy Sue. She really stuck good to her guns, and she went toe to toe with Tamra. Tamra's no joke. That girl, she knows how to have a confrontational face-off. I think that's clearly what she thrives on it and does best. And I don't think that is the sandbox that Jen likes to play in. And she held her own. Jen, you got a gold star this week, and that skin is getting a little thicker. I like it. Let's move on to Real Housewives of Miami. Overall, this episode was pretty boring to me. I do enjoy, though, a good makeup. And we saw Marisol and Adriana kind of do a little makeup as best that they could in the moment. So I did enjoy that. Gertie and Julia, same thing. So that's always kind of nice to just sort of move things forward so that we can get on to the next. What else? the opening scene with Martina Navratilova and Julia, with Stephanie and Masood. I love saying his name, Masood. So the four of them are at dinner, and this is the most we've gotten out of Martina at the entire season, show, what have you, since she's been on. And I always notice, and I've other people say the same thing, that she just comes off really grouchy and dismissive to Julia. And in this scene, she was very calm, just casual. And Masood was definitely complimenting her, flattering her on her tennis career, and of course her amazing arms that she had while she was, in the height of her game playing tennis. So maybe that's what put her in a good mood. Let's leave it that way. Alexia, all right, this is another one that needs something else going on other than Todd. Because this is just, I really feel like she is getting a bad rap. She's really not coming off as well as she could. And this guy is just dragging her down, dragging her. She needs something else going on. Yeah, not doing her any favors. Other TV I wanted to mention, I'm hearing all the buzz about a new series on Netflix called Hunting Wives, starring Brittany Snow and Malin Ackerman. I am going to start watching this. I will be reporting back. Love for you to watch along so we can. This episode of Heather's Do Vegas is proudly sponsored by Valley Girl Shop. Valley Girl Shop isn't just a brand, it's a whole vibe. Founded by a true San Fernando Valley native, Valley Girl celebrates the bold, confident spirit of Valley girls everywhere, from the Las Vegas Valley to Phoenix and LA. At Valley Girl Shop, you'll find more than just trendy clothes. You'll discover a full lifestyle. We're talking fun, expressive apparel, statement-making tumblers, sleek yoga mats, and must-have weekender tote bags that take you from brunch to beach in style. Whether you're repping your city or just living life with flair, Valley Girl has you covered. So wherever you are, poolside in Vegas, desert chic in Phoenix, or cruising the LA scene, embrace your inner Valley Girl. Let our collections inspire you to live boldly, dress confidently, and celebrate your unique vibe every day. Shop now at valleygirlshop.com. That's valleygirlshop.com. Dish. I have some new Vegas hotspots that I was able to hit up recently that I want to share with you all. It's called Arte Museum. Yes, Arte. That's art with an E on the end. I'm not just trying to be fancy. And this is located on the north end of the Crystal Shop, which is attached to City Center, but it's on the north end, which is right across from the Cosmopolitan. You either can park at Cosmo and just pop right over across the street, or maybe you're staying somewhere around, you just walk right over to the location. Now, if you are not parked at one of the properties, the only way to park is using their valet, and their valet is $25. Let you know, you've been warned. So once inside, you're really transported. This is truly a very modern, digital, electronic art installation. It's basically like black box theater. All of the floor, all the walls, everything is blacked out, and it's from floor to ceiling screens playing different themes, very nature related for the most part. In one room, it's waterfalls cascading from these giant ceilings. They must be like, I don't know, 30 feet tall. They just seem massive, and it's almost like you are there and the water's falling on you. It's very cool. My backdrop behind me is from one of the installations. It's called Star or Stars, and there are these lanterns that you walk in. It's just this room full of lanterns, and they change colors. It looks like they're twinkling, they're dancing. It's just very, very cool. Each of the rooms has a scent that corresponds to the theme. There's a woods theme, so of course the scent is the forest. There's a room that's all flowers, flower wall, and they move. It's not just stagnant. Everything is in motion, and it's so calming and soothing being in there. One of the best rooms they have, it's massive, and they play 4 different themes in there. They have a Vegas theme. They'll do one on famous artists like Van Gogh, Monet, and it's just all of their art in massive proportions. It's just amazing. You've got to go to experience it. Another really cool stop that they have is it's an interactive display where you color these outlined animals. So it's elephant, giraffe, and you color it in. You then put it under this kind of camera contraption, and then that projects your colored animal onto the screen, and you can see your art come to life. And I mean, that's really what this is about, is art coming to life, is what they've done in essence through this entire exhibit. There is this really cute little cafe toward the end where they have these kind of fun little drinks, and on the table there's images that move around, so it's all in theme with the museum. And then of course at the end there is a little bit of retail, so of course, you know, your girl Heather Ashley cannot pass up a retail opportunity. Really adorable things in there. This is not like junky carnival retail. This is really cute stuff. It kind of reminds me of things you see in Europe, like a very European retail gift shop. Definitely check that out. And they do sell the scents that they're pumping into the different rooms in the museum. And that was probably one of the more popular items. I saw people flocked over to the scents. Ticket prices range from about $45 on weekends for adults. During the week, they do have discounted rates Monday through Thursday. They have a Nevada resident discount. You have to show your ID. You can buy it on their website, or you can get it on Groupon. Another place I wanted to review, and you make up your own mind, is this restaurant called Double Zero Pie and Pub. And this is located in Chinatown. I had seen a few of our local foodie bloggers talking about this place. So I thought, I'm going to go check it out for myself. I love going down to Chinatown because there's just all of these little gems of restaurants and tiki bars and, you know, places that you just don't normally get off the beaten path. You don't get on the strip. Inside, it's a very industrial feel, brick walls, that kind of vibe, very industrial. I ordered a couple things. Their two most popular award-winning pizzas are the pepperoni and the fungi. So, right, like mushrooms. And then I got these chicken wings off the antipasti menu. And I'm going to tell you, not a fan. This is very artisanal type of pizza, that, you know, kind of brick fire pizza where the crust bubbles and it burns and will hold open. The pepperoni one was spicy. And if you've ever seen me eat spicy food, it's not pretty. So I avoided at all costs because, you know, we got to be looking cute, friends. And, you know, that's just not doing it for me. They have a happy hour every day of the week. It's from 3 to 5, and then they do 9 p.m., I think, till close. So if you are in that area or you love artisanal type of pizza, check it out. Otherwise, you know, I don't have a lot of great things to say. Sorry. Double Zero. Hey, well, I promised you a shorty. You got a short episode. Hey, make sure to follow on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube. This is at Heather's Do Vegas, DEUX. For the podcast, please rate and review. It really does help. And of course, you know, send me a note, something you'd like me to check out, review. I've got some other great places that are coming up that I'm excited to share with you guys. Make sure you check out next week's episode. And until then, hey, it's summer and it's always short. So you do whatever you want to do. Love ya.